Well, good morning, Jason.
Hey!
It's
Good
Friday
morning.
and it's transportation talk time. It's my favorite time of the week.
Well, no, you are correct. It is our favorite because it is my favorite too. I really enjoy being able to be here with you, and here we are. Yes, Friday. We've had maybe a good day worth of weather, and feeling a little charged up from that. And I can't wait to get into our topic today. I can't wait to hear all of the wonderful things that you're going to speak in regards to this topic. I'll let you kind of break down what the topic will end up being, but I'll tell you what, I'm really, really getting amped. Things are getting busy around here. It's just moving like you can't believe. I feel so good about what is coming around the corner as far as travel training, things that have to do with my program, just bicycles out there more. People are out there walking a little bit more, even with the rain, because it just seems like, the rain's going to stop at some point. Right. So
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. So, people are out there still. They're like, hey, I'm going to go out walking with my rain gear. And if it stops raining, I'll take that off and get in my t-shirt and we'll be good to continue walking on. So it's just seems like everything's kind of coming alive and it's a really good time of year. So,
well, Jason, I was so sad to miss those travel trainings that you did last week because they were so amazing. So, before we get into one of my favorite topics, please tell me more about that because I'm so sad I missed it.
Yeah, we're really sad that you missed it too, but I'm also sad that everybody else out there that we're talking to or they're watching and so forth got to miss it as well. But we did a travel training event for 2 local area high schools. That's all I'll say about that right now. But it was great to be with little over 25 teens and a few adults and teachers and so forth. So we got an opportunity to get on a bus and do a simulated route. We got a chance to talk to every single one of them. In some cases, individually, got a chance to kind of figure out what some of these teens are going to be doing coming up here, in the summertime where they got jobs. They're going to go visit friends. Some of them are even going to be doing some science experiments. I don't know what those really are, but they're really into science, and they were going to get together with a group of people. It's a school-sponsored thing, and they just wanted to know if they could do that on the bus. And so far, it seems like they can. So,
and you got to say, yes, you can.
I got to say, yes, you can. Yes, I did. And it was a blast. So just know that anybody out there who has a group of individuals who are interested in riding our public transportation system, whether or not that's a bus or whether or not we want to connect people to options such as what we're going to talk about a little later here, Kathy, it's right up your alley. We are here for you to be able to help you learn how to do those things, to help develop those skills to get out there and to enjoy our community via public transit. So we had an excellent time. It was a great success, and it definitely is going to open up doors for future possible trainings. It's so important to get these teens out there because they want to develop that independence that it's hard to do if you have to depend on mom and dad everywhere you go. So it was really cool to have them on board, literally. Long trips, I'll tell you, from Seaside to Astoria up to the college, that's a long journey, and we did it. It was good. So thank you, everybody out there who participated in that. And for those of you out there who want to participate in a future travel training like that, just give us a call. Let us know. You can even comment down here, and we'll read that comment and contact you back. So there you go, Kathy. You missed something big, but I know you'll be there for the next one.
I sure hope so. Yeah, because I love working with the teens. Just like you said, it's a great time to introduce new ideas that maybe they didn't think of about how to get around and help them with those first steps into independence of moving around without their parents.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a blast to see. I love seeing things just click in people. And there were times on those travel trainings where, I saw it click, and I thought that was really good. It was either that or I was talking about ice cream. I don't know which it was, but I just saw something click in their minds, and we were well on our way. But Kathy, now we're here to the topic of the day, and I really want to hear from you what we're going to be talking about, because I got some questions, because I don't fully understand everything that you're going to be talking about. It just seems pretty cool, but please, what are we going to talk about? I
know, and I really hope you have some good questions for me, because this is a thing that I get super excited about, because I just see all positives about it. And so if other people aren't seeing all the positives and the benefits that I see, I want them to ask me, because I just get so super excited about it, and I don't see why we don't have, a bajillion Vanpools. That's what I want to talk
Vanpools.
about is
Vanpools.
Vanpools.
Oh,
See,
wow.
I'm in a van. See, I'm in a van.
You are in the van. I like that van. It does look rather 80-ish, but that is really
Well,
cool.
these would not be the vans that you would use for a van pool that would be, an official supplied vehicle. You'd get something even nicer. So I just want to put that
Nice
out there.
too. Oh, Kathy, van pools. That is so cool. I mean, it is a topic that isn't discussed as much as I'm sure you would want it to. And it's definitely not discussed as much as I want it to. So what is a van pool, Kathy? And why don't I see one right now?
A van pool is, a larger version of a carpool. Frequently, though, a van pool, once you get to that size, it's sponsored by your employer. And an
nice.
employer can have a big part of it, of the costs, which the biggest thing about a van pool to me is the biggest thing and why I don't understand why more people don't do it is it saves you money. So much money.
I can see that. It saves you money. And let's see here. What are the very easy low-hanging fruit ideas here? It saves you money and gas, right? Because if you've got 5 people and, that's quite a bit. That's quite a few people to be able to split that cost with. And I mean, that's one way that we can save money, right?
Right. So if, say you're in a van with 5, 6, 7, 8 people, you're splitting those gasoline costs between that many people.
That's nice.
The other part of that is, though, Jason, the bigger part of that is that vehicle doesn't belong to any of the people that are riding in it.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to buy a van to organize a van pool. You just have to be a qualified driver. So you have to have a driver's license that you would pass a background check so that the company that supplies the van provides your insurance. So that's why they want to do a background check, because they're going to provide your insurance. They don't want to take on great big huge insurance liabilities.
Sure.
So if you have a clean driving record and you want to drive a van pool and 5 people at your work site that want to go to, that live in your same general vicinity or along your path to work, driving a van pool is a huge benefit because you're driving a van, you have that vehicle that you are being supplied with. You don't have to pay for the maintenance. The company pays for the maintenance. You don't have to pay for insurance. That's a huge cost.
Well, wait
You're
a minute,
sharing
Kathy.
the gas expenses, and you just are driving and picking up your friends, your coworkers, and going to work, which you would be doing anyway.
Did you just tell me that the van is supplied, that the insurance is covered, and the maintenance and everything is covered in what, like a fancy agreement and stuff like that? Or are you kidding me? Really? So you're telling me that I could not have to pay those fees and only my sharing gas?
And sometimes the driver, depending on the agreement, doesn't even have to pay the share of gas.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I can see where that would definitely save me some money in my household expense, right? I mean, come on, it costs nearly for an average, my average cost per month, is almost $500 between 2 vehicles. Okay. And
for insurance.
It's insane. Yeah. Insurance and a variety of other things. It's just unbelievable how the cost kind of builds up, not to mention even, the cost for, your car payments and
your maintenance, your upkeep, so the tires are covered, so you get this brand new vehicle and then they swap it out every couple of years when it starts to show wear and get the mileage gets up there and you get a new vehicle and you haven't paid anything to the vehicle. Sure. There is a cost. The good thing is that if you get me on board and if you get, the right people talking to your employer, we could probably convince your employer to pay for part of those costs, which means that your daily commute costs are going to be so small compared to what they are when you're driving your own car.
So, Kathy, things are so expensive today. Everything is expensive, more expensive than it was last year. And, our household expenses have gone up. So this, to me, sounds like a great way to combat that is to we see all these other costs going up. Now, all of a sudden, my transit costs go way down. I mean, that's almost like a raise, isn't it?
Exactly. That means that more of your paycheck you have available to spend on other things. you're not spending it on upkeep of your car and gas,
Right.
and then, all the other, like we said, the insurance and all the other things. Never mind the stress of maintaining all of those things.
Well, part of the stress, Kathy, that you're talking about is about arriving on time to work. And I have to admit that's part of my understanding, or my error in understanding was that I thought that taking the carpool, it's going to take much longer, in some cases maybe even double the time. But I was researching it, and it helped me tell me if this is correct, that it, for people, especially in urban areas, let's remember, we're trying to talk, we're not just talking about our rural area, but in urban areas where they have, HOV lanes or vanpool, carpool lanes and so forth, people can get through their commute just a little quicker because you got that lane all to yourself, right?
Yeah.
I mean, does that help out? Does that help reduce some of the stress of getting? And some people, accurate or inaccurate, some people say that they can cut their commute time in half. What do you think about that?
Well, I would say that is definitely possible. The other benefit that a lot of companies supply to people, to their employees, other than helping to subsidize a van pool or a carpool, is they might provide special parking spots. And so,
nice.
Whereas other people might have to pay for parking, or they have lots all over their place, they might have a lot or special spots in their parking lot for carpools or vanpools, which means either reduced parking fees or free parking fees, and definitely closer to the building parking.
Well, and again, Kathy, you've reduced that stress, right? Because I'll tell you what, there's nothing worse than trying to find a parking space in a big urban city, close, at least where you don't have to walk a mile to get to your place and stuff. So, but I did have another question regarding, another thing that really does kind of pop up, and I don't want it to sound like as a negative. So please help lift me up on this. What happens if my carpool is canceled somehow? I'm there can be a variety of ways that happen. Either there's a breakdown with a van or a car, or what if I need to leave early? Or what if I have to stay later? I mean, how do you help those people?
So the whole leaving early, or something happens in the middle of the day, you might, somebody needs to stay longer because they've been voluntold to work an extra shift, or, it's an offer that's too good to refuse, or any of those things. You've got a sick kid that you've got to go home and pick up.
Sure.
And you were a rider in a Vanpool, and now you are stuck at work and you don't have a way to get home. That is usually handled by what is called an emergency ride home part of the Vanpool. And
Did you say an emergency ride home?
An emergency ride home. And so, depending upon where you're located, it could be an Uber ride that is paid for, or a taxi ride, or whatever means it takes to be able to get you home after you've been part of this Vanpool. Vanpools are, they become, the people that are part of Vanpools really get committed to each other. Often they're called Vanleys.
Vanleys. Oh, like family.
Like family, except for family.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And because you're riding to work together every day, you kind of get to know each other a little bit. And part of the reason that they start out and they work so well is that you're often going to the same place. So whether you're working in the same building for the same company, or for a neighboring business, you see each other all the time. You kind of are familiar. And so it's not such a big deal and scary to jump in a Vanpool with somebody.
I love that, Kathy, because I maybe they wouldn't like my particular topic of discussion, but I would hope that I'd get a couple
bicycles
of
and flashlights.
Bicycles and flashlights could be one. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I like that more. So let's do that. Bicycle and flashlights. Hey, let's have a discussion group about that. We can actually name the Vanpool the flashlight pool. I don't know, something funny like that. But I can see where you're going with that. It would make my commute, which is usually one of the worst things I have to deal with in my day, probably, dare I say, one of my highlights.
Right.
Oh, big. I can't believe it.
I mean, imagine the whole shift in your mentality of your day. If you get, whatever amount of time it is, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour before you have to work every day, that you get to hang out with your buds and you just get to chill. And maybe sometimes you feel like talking, or sometimes you don't. And you can take an extra nap before work or on your way home, or, however it works out in your Vanpool. And for you, you get a little more you time. How is that not a bonus?
Kathy, in all my years of doing transit, I have always thought, getting on a bus or some sort of publicly formed transportation, I'm not going to lie, sometimes it can be challenging. Sometimes it's not that fun. Sometimes you think, oh, I got to get the bus today. But it just seems like I'd be looking forward to, if I got to go to work, I might as well spend that first 30 minutes of my day enjoying my time. Or if I don't have to talk with anybody and I don't want to talk to anybody, you're right. Just catching up on a nap or catching up on the sports scores, whatever. Yeah, exactly. Hey, I got some, headphones that I can offer you and everything.
Yeah.
But the point is, though, is a vanpool or a carpool sounds like a great way to get to where you need to go, especially commuting to work. It just seems like it's something that we should do around here. So, Kathy, how could you encourage someone out there watching this right now who has they're like, I love what I'm hearing Jason and Kathy talk about, and I want to do it next week? What do they do?
Right. So what you do is you drop us a note in the comments. You give us a call. You drop us an email. I will get back in touch with you, and I will help you get a Vanpool started. And if you work at a particular employer that is in the area, well, this is if you work in this area. I mean, if you live in this area. If you live outside of this area, you can still drop us a comment. Yeah. And I will see if I can get you in touch with somebody that does the same thing as I do near where you live. And so I get so excited about this because it's such a good thing. And if you've been watching and you've caught a little bit of that enthusiasm or a little curiosity, please drop us a note. Because I'd love to help you get a Vanpool going. Because if you've got me on your team, you might just get an employer subsidy going too, and that'll reduce the costs too.
That is great. Kathy, that's awesome. And if people want to, they get this started and doing this, remember, a Vanpool could be potentially as well just a part of your trip. Maybe you take a Vanpool into a certain area and then need to hop on transit in order to get you to your final destination. You can drop a line here, a comment here, and we can work with you on that as well and help you travel, train, and learn how to use that local system. But Kathy, I know our time goes by fast when we talk about things that we love to do, and I can tell you are very passionate about this. Is there any final things that you'd want to just really encourage our community of listeners and watchers right now to do this? We want this to happen.
So if you've been watching us this far, and if you've heard this conversation about Vanpools and you're not curious about it, or you don't think it's a good idea, I want to know why. Because I can't see any pitfalls to this. Seriously, I don't know why more people wouldn't be doing this.
Let's do it. Let's do it, people. Okay, comment below, contact Kathy. Let's get this rolling, literally. So, Kathy, thank you so much for another yet wonderful time of transportation talk. It's always fun to do it. And I know I got a weekend and a half planned out there right now. It's going to be a busy but fun weekend. I hope the rain kind of stands off just a little bit so I can get a lot done outside. But if it doesn't, it's okay. I'll play in the mud.
There you go. All right. Well, Jason, it's always fun to talk to you on Fridays, and I'm really looking forward to a nice weekend and hearing from some people about Vanpools.
Yes. All right. Take care, everybody. You have a great weekend. Bye, Kat.